Hey folks, this is James, the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country. I am so glad you are here. Wow, a lot has changed over the last 24 hours, I can tell you that. I want to just tell you briefly what I've learned, and then I'm going to give you my theory as far as what the Pac-12 needs to do in order to survive. So let me slide over a little bit. Let me put here, this come from Pete Thamel. He was the first person I saw report that basically said that the Pac-12 has kind of pushed back the timeline. They're talking late spring, early summer. Initially, there was a timeline of April 15th, somewhere in there. But they need more time to negotiate. This has been confirmed by the Monty Show. This has been confirmed by other sources as well. So, if you've been waiting for this big demise and waiting for Arizona and Arizona State and Colorado and Utah to show up here, you know, because once my Cincinnati bobblehead shows up, I'll have everybody from the Big 12. But this is getting drawn out more and more just because the Pac-12 wants to negotiate. Apparently the schools are trying to stay together. Now, in honor of Golden Blue Dude, who recently passed away, and I do ask that you continue to keep his family in your prayers, I will put the link to the GoFundMe page in the description. Chris had significant medical issues. And when he switched from a regular job to doing YouTube full-time, he no longer had health insurance. So if you can give, please give to help out his family. He was survived by his fiance and 2 small children. I thought I had something on my goatee. Sorry. So anyway, to honor Chris, Golden Blue Dude, I will. I'm not trying to mock him. I'm trying to honor him in this video. And as he would say, brace yourselves. You are entering the speculation zone. Of course, he couldn't play the music from the Twilight Zone because copyright infringement and yada, yada, yada. So he was smart not doing that. Although every time I heard him say speculation zone, I heard the music in the background. Do, 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 do. So hopefully I won't get tagged for that. Anyway, my theory. Pay attention, George Kliakoff. I'm going to tell you how you can keep the Pac-12 together and how you can help them survive. Now, you're probably wondering, you're like, wait a minute, who the heck are you? Well, I'm James White. My undergraduate degree was in marketing. So, I do know a little bit about how to market your product. That's what the Pac-12 is. You are presenting to these television companies a product of exciting football games. And yes, I've seen some exciting football games. Stanford and Cal is a pretty good rivalry. Washington State is a good rivalry. Oregon State is a good rivalry. Washington and Oregon is a good rivalry. Arizona State is a good rivalry. Utah, Colorado is okay. Of course, that's kind of why we want Utah in the Big 12, George. It's because Utah and BYU is a rivalry. But anyway, I'm making this video to talk about my theory, to honor Golden Blue Dude, and to help you, George Kliakoff, because nobody seems to realize this. If one company alone, ESPN, only wants to give you $9 million a year, you need multiple companies to get you to that threshold. Now, as was said on Golden Blue Dude's channel, if most of your games are on streaming, what we've learned by MLS is that though a lot of the production costs would be paid for by the schools. So you actually need more than $31.7 million per year to be even with the Big 12. See, the Big 12 doesn't have to worry about production costs. ESPN and Fox are going to take care of that stuff. You need $40 million a year to make this work. And I can tell you how to get there. So let me slide over. I want to put some text right here. ESPN, if they were to drop the NBA, I've heard that NBC wants more NBA games. You could ask for up to $20 million from them. If ESPN still carries the NBA, then the most you're going to get from them is probably 10. You need to get others. Either Ion or NBC Universal. That would give you another $10 million. And then Apple and Amazon, $10 million each. So now you've got 10 teams, so you got 5 conference games as of right now. The negotiations, if I'm the Pac-12, I'm bringing in San Diego State. I'm bringing in SMU. I disagree with Golden Blue Dude's take on SMU. I've been to 2 SMU games last year. The fans are excited about Mustang football. They're excited about the expansion of their stadium. They're excited about the future. I guarantee you, if they were a part of the Pac-12, the attendance at Gerald Ford Stadium would go up. Guarantee it. They want to be Power 5. They want to be relevant again in football. So, if between ESPN and NBC Universal, which in the USA Network, Apple, Amazon, possibly Ion TV, if each of those, if you can get 4 of them, and they do $10 million each per team, that would give you $40 million. Each school would have to eat the production costs on the streaming games, but that would put some of your games on regular television, especially if both ESPN and Ion are involved. And then you got Apple and Amazon for your streaming. And of course, ESPN would put one game on ESPN Plus. That would ensure that, number one, all of your games would be on television. Number two, that would give you enough money to be competitive with the Big 12. Now, I agree with Chris, Golden Blue Dude. I don't want the Pac-12 to go away. I don't. But, Mr. Kliakoff, you've got to step up and get all of these people involved. Because if you're just hoping for one or two of those companies to bail you out and get you above 31.7 million, quite frankly, sir, that's not going to happen. So that is my theory on how the Pac-12 can survive. It is speculation on my part. I have no inside knowledge of any kind, other than I can tell you, I know how in this economy, looking at ESPN's offer, if 3 of the other entities were to do the same, well, ESPN needs to go up to 10 million. If you can get 3 others to do 10 million, that's 40 million, then you'll survive. I would have them sign a 4 to 5 year deal, and that way you can see how this works, and you'll see that you're going to get not as much exposure as the Big 12, but you'll get some. And then I think ESPN will realize that, hey, the Pac-12 games late at night, they're worth paying for. You might be able to talk Fox to get back into the equation. And I think the bottom line is this. If you can keep the Pac-12 together for a couple years, and Oregon and Washington realize that staying in the Pac-12 is an easier path to the playoffs than going to the Big Ten, they'll be like, oh yeah, we can win our conference, make the playoffs, and have a legitimate chance for a national championship. If you can do that, that's how the Pac-12 is going to survive. So, if you are new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe. This channel is predominantly about Big 12 football, in college football, college basketball, college baseball. I'm an Oklahoma State graduate, but I love all of the teams in the Big 12. My girlfriend's a TCU grad. Of course, I live fairly close to Waco. But I like the Big 12, and that's what I'm a fan of. So, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for watching. And God willing, somehow, some way, this video finds its way to George Kliakoff's office. I tell you what, I'll even put my personal email in the description below. I'm willing to, for a modest fee, help out the Big 12 because we don't want to see a conference die. We want to keep the Power 5 as the Power 5. Then what can happen is, like we took on Houston and UCF and BYU, the Pac-12 can take on a few more teams, and that'll give smaller schools more of an opportunity to play for a national championship, which is definitely a good thing. So, thank you for watching, and as always, go Pokes.